Hello, everyone. Welcome to week 9. Before we begin, I would like to thank all of you who completed the mid-semester survey. Because of your comments, we are making a few structural changes to the course. So first, we are going to have one discussion question rather than 2 each week. I think that will be a good thing for you towards the end of the semester. However, note that the discussion questions may become somewhat more complex. Second, some of you asked if we could post materials earlier, and certainly we can. So what we're going to do is post most parts of the modules on Sunday morning rather than Monday morning. However, we are going to keep the quiz and the discussion group set to be opened on Monday at 9 a.m. We're doing that so you don't get confused in terms of which quizzes are due and which ones are just starting. And then thirdly, we will move towards fewer readings and more audios and videos. Of course, you know that at a university, you are expected to do reading, and this course is no different. However, I also think that we can present a lot of this material in video form, and some of you seem to enjoy that a little bit more. Okay, so now let's get into the content for the week. This week, we are studying our 3rd of 8 diversity issues, namely gender and its relationship to design. Gender refers to the socially constructed characteristics of men, women, a mix or transfer of the two, or something altogether outside of these constructs. Gender varies from society to society and can be changed. Most people, but not all, are born either female or male, and they are taught norms and behaviors, including how they should interact with others of the same or other sex within households, communities, and workplaces. When individuals or groups do not fit into the established or traditional gender norms, they often face stigma, discriminatory practices, or social exclusion, all of which can adversely affect their sense of well-being. But things are changing, and they're changing rapidly. Your generation is undergoing a conceptual shift about the concept of gender. It seems that gender, just like race and ethnicity, is being perceived more and more like a spectrum or a sphere or a network, especially as we unravel the human genome and see the complexities of our makeup. Author Suzanne Tick writes that, and I quote here, "We are living in a time of gender revolution. Traditional masculine and feminine roles are being challenged through advances in science and technology and by cultural shifts stemming from the evolution of sexual politics and media depictions of gender. Identity is no longer clearly defined as male or female, but by increasingly visible manifestations of sexuality or lack thereof." Now, designers who focus on society's issues are well aware of this sea change, and they are working to understand new concepts of space that are related to gender identity. Tick continues, and I quote here, "Corporations have taken note, and bathrooms have become the focus of this big change. Big companies like Google are adopting gender neutral or unisex bathrooms in addition to conventional ones to allow all individuals to feel comfortable, safe, and included, and not to have to choose a gender while in the workplace." So you might recall that recently for one of the extra credit opportunities, you had the chance to take a survey about the bathrooms at UB. Hopefully your responses to that survey will be taken into consideration when UB redesigns all of the bathrooms on campus. So this increasingly nuanced understanding of gender identity is essentially a human phenomenon, And we need to design for the accumulation of different human beings who are out there by being respectful to individual needs and creating environments in which people can have their own identity. So let's talk about what we've got on the roster for this week. We're going to start with a glossary, which gives us the terminology that we need to discuss gender issues in relationship to design. Having the vocabulary is the first step to understanding, and it helps us to understand the concepts that we can't discuss or even think about otherwise. Then we're going to read a chapter from our diversity and design textbook titled Overwriting Hate, Queer Writing on the Bathroom Wall. In this article, the author directly responds to the negative effects of hate speech directed toward gay men in the form of public restroom graffiti. And in the past, students have voted this article as their favorite that has been given or assigned during the course of the entire semester. And so you may find this quite interesting yourself. There is a lot of profanity in the article, so be aware of that. Then after that article, we've got another one from our diversity and design book, which is entitled Visualizing Gender. And in this article, the authors reveal the challenges and opportunities that are inherent to gender activism in communication design. Thirdly, we're going to be watching a video talk by designer Gabrielle Maher, who deconstructs gender in media design and product design. They look at the gendered nature of sitting and then think about how a chair might be redesigned, keeping those gender kinds of forms of sitting in mind. And then lastly, product designer Karen Emberger discusses cross-dressing appliances to reveal our gender biases. Obviously, you're going to be taking the quiz and then you'll participate in our discussion group this week. And note in the discussion group, the response that you are giving to another student this week is far more complex than they have been in the past. And you are going to be offering some sort of a counter response in this week so that you can start to advance your critical thinking skills. And finally, in addition, we also have project 2 in the project assignment folder. So you might want to go take a look at that. If you haven't, it is due at the end of the semester, but I think it's really good for you to know what it's all about at this point in time. And then finally, we've also posted another extra credit opportunity for you so that you are able to gain a few points by taking on a pretty interesting activity if you need a few points to be added to your scores for the semester. Wherever you roam this week, take a look at the spaces around you and think about how they might portray gender issues. How do we read gender in the public realm? Why are some spaces made for specific genders? And how can you tell that they're made for specific genders? And then finally, this is perhaps one of the most difficult questions for designers. How can one design spaces or products with gender characteristics that are not stereotyped? Not an easy task. Okay, everyone, have a great week. Stay safe, stay kind, and do something fun. Bye-bye.